Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. So here we have the combo set in 1/72 scale. It's named as In the Skies of China, and as you can see, the kit number DS7204 hints that this is a part of their diorama series, and you can notice on the box art that we get actually 3 aircraft in one box, so it might be a good opportunity to build something sophisticated with those 3. And we have a commercial sample here, so it means you'll get exactly the same stuff if you order it right now, for example, from Modelimex. So first of all, the packaging is not that big, even though we have 3 aircraft. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and this is not really thick or heavy box. Here you can see the history note and also some information about the kit. So it's written that we have here 130 parts for assembly of key 27A, and then we also have 163 parts for key 21A as well. And here on the opposite side you will find 3 markings for those aircraft. So everything is sealed with the tape. It should be quite easy and quick to open. I just need to use a knife. In the meantime, I can remind you that we reviewed the solo release of Key 21. You can find it on our YouTube channel. We checked the all of the previous versions, I would say. So if you would like to have a solo build or you would like to have the additional aircraft, definitely check out the video review. And also this aircraft came out in 1/48 scale as well, so this might be an interesting choice for modelers who prefer the bigger sized models. So I'm opening the box right now, as you can see, and this is a somewhat classic design of the box for ICM. I'll just flip over the sticker back, and here is what we have inside. So it's more of a tight packaging, I would say, but as you can see, the plastic sprues are packed into separate plastic bags, and because we have the double set for one of the aircraft, we will check only one set of sprues. So just give me a moment, I will take them out. Okay, so what do we have here is the, first of all, the gray plastic sprue, and this is not exactly a new plastic, I would say, so that's why you will notice it once I zoom in closer. So the parts look more or less okay, but this is definitely not something comparable with the bigger twin-engine aircraft, which is also here in this kit. But I think for out-of-the-box build it should be enough, so now, with some careful assembly, you should be able to preserve all of those details, maybe add even more if you have some reference materials, and I can zoom in even closer and maybe flip over the sprue like that so that you can see all of the parts in a zoomed in view. And well, overall I wouldn't say that it's too bad. As you can see, we have some guiding elements even on some parts, so it's just a matter of careful assembly. And again, as I said before, checking some photos of the real aircraft so that you can know what to do in case you would like to have the additional features on your model. With wings, well, here we have a bit more difficult situation, because as you can see, if I zoom in here, we have some rivets and panel lines, but they're not as deep as they could be, so that's why you have to be careful while painting this surface and also priming it. And also we have some landing gear parts, separate ailerons, and if we flip it over, here inside we do not have any guiding elements whatsoever, so you will have to improvise here. And these are relatively large parts for a 1/72 scale. So definitely take your time and maybe plan in advance how to paint it. Next we continue with the clear sprue for the same model. It was packed into the separate plastic bag. As you can see, molding quality looks okay, but I'm not sure if we have the masks template included. So for this we will have to check the assembly manual a bit later. So as I was saying, we have 2 similar aircraft. So here is another set of the sprues, carrying exactly the same parts as what you saw on the let's say sprues few seconds ago. So I'm opening the next plastic bag. Here we have the sprues for twin-engine aircraft, and I'll just need a few seconds to take everything out. Okay, so what do we have here? First of all, we have the fuselage halves. And you can notice that for the fuselage halves we have Pretty much the same design as in the solo releases, not surprisingly. So as you can see, the tail surfaces and the wing, of course, they are molded separately. We have recessed panel lines and rivets. We do not have the separate doors still, so you will have to live with this. Even though we have, as you can see here, nice interior features, it is still with the shut door. And I'm not sure how to resolve it. Frankly speaking, I haven't seen any aftermarket kits which actually help with this issue. So you have to deal with it with your own hands and tools. And here we have a slightly bigger plastic sprue, so 2 halves for the wing. It's the left side, as you can see. Engine nozzle is assembled out of separate parts. We have here also the instrument panel, propeller, again some parts for the engine nozzle, and another propeller in the opposite corner. If I flip it over, those wing parts actually have the guiding pins, so it should be easy to combine them together. And for a 1/48 scale, this is quite large model, so do not underestimate it. And next we continue with the sprue D. As you can see, it is carrying the same set of parts, so I will show you only one, because here we have the engine parts and also we have some of the interior parts, which is really cool. And the landing gear parts here, they look nice, but they will require some careful assembly because some of them are really tender. And maybe it's also a wise idea to check how the wiring of the, for example, brake lines goes on the real aircraft, because even at 1/72 scale it will be noticeable on the finished model. Next we continue with the clear plastic sprue, so you can hear I'm opening it, so just give me a moment. And those clear parts, they look quite nice, and as far as I remember, previous releases actually featured the masking templates, so it will be quite interesting to check what is included here, whether those elements are preserved. Next we continue with the sprue F, so this one is dedicated to the tail section here with the tail fin and also the tail wings and elevators. If I flip it over here, you can see that again we have guiding elements, so it shouldn't be a difficult task to get everything together. Next we have one more plastic sprue, and this is the sprue B, and actually the final one in this kit, so I will zoom out. Again we have the pair of the panels for the right side of the wing, another version of the tail surfaces. This is the cockpit floor. Also we have the separate rudder. Also we have here some wing mechanization parts. So everything looks quite fine, and if I flip it over again we have a lot of guiding elements, so do not be worried about the placement of all of this stuff together. It should be relatively easy. Next we continue with the assembly manual for key 27. So here we have 2 identical decal sheets, and that's why I will show you only one, because there is no point to show the same stuff again and again. So here it is. And maybe some modders will even try to replicate those red stripes with the masks and white ones as well. So it's your decision whether you would like to go this way. As you can see, there are no seat belts whatsoever, so it might be a good choice to get some PE parts as well, because we have an open cockpit here. Next, I'm closing the lenses so that you can see what is printed here. So we have the small brochure, and this is actually also hinting on the age of this kit. We have short history note here. Next, we continue with the parts map, and here we have the assembly process, which is shown with help of 3D images. And then we have the marking guide, which is also black and white, so it might be worth checking the reference materials available for this aircraft. But as you can see, there are plenty of markings available from the standard issue, I would say. And here you can see the final steps of the assembly and the colors chart as well. Okay. Next, we also have the bigger assembly manual. So as you can guess, this one is dedicated to a bit more recent release in 1/72 scale. But first, these are decal sheets. Here we already have some dials for the instrument panel, but still no seat belts. And as far as I remember, Edward is already producing some seat belts for this aircraft. But for the assembly manual here, it is easy to notice that it comes from the solo release. As you can see, we have the DS in brackets, and short history note on the first page, of course. Next, we continue with the parts map, and red color means that those parts will not be used. Then we have the fuselage interior assembly. So as I said, there are plenty of things to install inside, so that's why it's worth thinking how to expose all these things, because otherwise they will be just hidden inside once you close the fuselage panels together. As you remember, we have this door pre-molded, so it's quite a shame. Next, we continue by joining those fuselage halves together, installing top and bottom parts, as well as the canopy parts as well. And here we have the tail being assembled, wings. Maybe for the wings it might be a good idea to reinforce them with some kind of metal rod. And on the next page you can see also the landing gear, engine gondolas, engines. Both engines are actually copied, as you remember. We have the masking guide for the this aircraft, but not for the previous one. At least this one will be covered with the stickers. And then we continue with the first marking option, second, third, and fourth here. So for the marking guide for the version which is included here, I guess you will have to pay attention to what is printed on the box. So overall we get a interesting combo release from ICM. It should be already available, so you can get it in Modelimax, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.